Hi there and welcome to this special edition of In the Labs with me, Becky. Now, in this project, I'm going to show you how I created this collection of personalised tree decorations. And these are perfect to have as a hanging decoration for your friends, family, even your pets. So let's go into the software and we'll take a look at how we created this. Okay then, so in the project folder you're going to find two files. So one is called Personalised Tree Decorations and that's a CRV file. Okay, so you're able to use this project in Aspire, VCarve Pro and VCarve Desktop. So first off, let's just take a look at the dimensions that I'm using here. Okay, so I'm working with a sheet of walnut in this case, and that is just over 36 inches wide, just under 4 inches high, and the material thickness is just under 1/4 of an inch. So taking a look at the file, you can see I've got various decorations here. So we've got, if we just zoom in over here, so we've got one that's perfect for a pet dog and it says Merry Christmas spot, and if you wanted to change the text you can do. So first off we'll just ungroup these objects. I've just put them together just so it's easier for us to handle. Then we can take that text and then you can input whatever it is that you want in there. For example, we could say a Merry Christmas Frank. We'll close out there and then you've got your name of your pet here instead. Okay, so I'm just going to undo that. And then moving on, we've got Bertie's first Christmas. So this is perfect for any newborns that have happened this year. And again, you can just change the name in here by going into the draw text tool. We've got cat lovers, so we've got Merry Christmas Shadow here. We've got some fish decoration on the side. We've got a house, so for those people that you may know that have moved house this year, we've got a kind of decoration just to say Merry Christmas. It's a first time, first Christmas in your new home, which has a key with the date on it as well. So if you are not making this in 2020 and are watching this in the future, you can obviously change the date to whatever year it is that you want to do that on. Then we have a generic Christmas with the Smiths in this example. This could be a family name, this could be a couple. You can change this to really whatever it is that you want it to be. Moving on, we've got a heart here and this says Nan forever in our hearts. So this is perfect for remembering somebody that we may have lost over the years and to have them on your tree as a little ornament as well. And then finally we've just got a star, and again this one also says Christmas with the Smiths. So again you can change that to a family name or whatever it is that you want to change it to. So the way that I'm going to create this is we're going to have, so for all of the circle decorations you'll see that we've got a charm that sits in the middle, and each one of these charms I'm going to machine out of a different material so we create a nice contrast between the two parts. So for the outer parts we're going to cut this in walnut, and then for the charms we're actually going to cut that in an oak material, and you can do whatever you want here. You could cut it out the same material if you wanted to. And so the idea is I'm going to have some hanging hoops that are going to basically hang or hold that charm in place through the hoops, just so it gives the decoration a little bit more dimension as well. Same for the key on the house. This is going to be cut in the oak material so it's contrasting with the house shape that we've got there, and again that's just going to sit on top of the house as well. Okay, so I'm just going to undraw the layer here called charms, because as I said we are machining all the charms out of a different material. So in this case we're just looking at machining all of these vectors that we've got here. So let's switch over to the toolpaths tab. Okay, so I've already created the toolpaths in this case. First off, we have a VCarve toolpath. Okay, so if we double click on that, you'll see it's pulled up all of the text, the little decorations, the little paw prints, the stars, the hearts, and so on in there. And then that's ready for us to use a VCarve toolpath with. Okay, so we're setting that where the start depth is at 0, so the very top of my material surface. We're using a 60-degree V-bit in this case, and that should give us a nice crisp cut. So let's just close out and we'll just go ahead and preview that toolpath. Perfect. So if we just zoom in, we can get a good idea of what we're dealing with here, and you can see everything looks pretty good here. Okay, so I'm happy with all of those. And then if we go ahead and go into the pocket toolpath, we double click on that. I'm just going to tile the windows here. Okay, so in the pocket toolpath, we're just cutting out the hanging holes for the tree decorations. I'm using an 1/8 inch end mill here, and we're cutting all the way through the material, nothing too clever here. And then if we go ahead and preview that toolpath, you can see what that looks like. And then using the same tool, we're going to use a profile toolpath, okay, and we're just going to cut all of the parts out. We're going to add in tabs in there just to hold everything in place. We're also going to apply ramps and leads, so we're going to be ramping and leading into our cut just to preserve the life of the tool and just to keep that cutter away from the finished surface of the finished edge of our tree decorations. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's this file. We have another file, and that is the charms.crv. So you can see all I've done is I've just taken the charms from the previous file and I've basically just nested them into my new setup. So this time I'm working with material that is 17.5 inches wide, just shy of 4 inches high, and again we have the same thickness of 0.24 in this case. Okay, so switching over to the toolpaths, we've got exactly the same toolpaths here. So we've got a VCarve toolpath for the 2020 text on the key. We've got a pocket toolpath for all the holes. We're also pocketing out the pores in this charm, and we've got a profile toolpath. So the settings are exactly the same as what we used in the previous file. So let's just take a look at everything that we have here. So we're going to preview all of the toolpaths in this case. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so you can see we've got those charms there. It's looking pretty good, and those should hang really nice amongst all of the other parts. Okay, so we didn't actually preview the profile, so let's just go ahead and preview that to see what that looks like. Perfect. Okay, right then, so those charms are going to sit nicely inside each one of these circular tree decorations. Right then, so I think we're done here, so let's head over to the labs to get machining this. So I'm using a piece of walnut and using double-sided carpet tape to hold that down, and then with the V-bit we're setting the Z0 to the top of the surface of that material where we're running the VCarve toolpath. So that all came out beautifully. We've got all the detail in there. And so it's time to switch over to that 1/8 inch end mill where we're going to run the pocket toolpath to cut out all of the hanging holes, as well as the profile toolpath that's going to cut all of those decorations out. So I was really pleased with how this set of decorations turned out. So it's time to take it off of the machine bed, so really pulling at that double-sided carpet tape which holds it down so well, and then detabbing the decorations ready for sanding. But before we go ahead and do that, we'll run the second file. So here I'm putting the oak down, setting the Z0 off the top of the surface, ready to run that V-bit tool just for the 2020 VCarve, and then switch over the tool for the pockets and the profiles. So that was the second file complete, and then it was just a case of cleaning everything up using the battle sander, as well as a little bit of hand sanding here and there, and they all came out beautifully. So they're all laid up. Now it's time to finish them. So I decided to just use some teak oil just to rub that in, and it worked so well. Really transformed the material and just give it a real nice sheen to it. My favourite colour, of course, is glitter, so we're going to add some Christmas sparkle to some of these decorations. So I basically glued up some parts of the decorations and then just gave them a nice cover in the glitter, just to give it a bit of festive sparkle. So then I got my chain hoops and some pliers, and then hung the charms within the bauble charms as well. And then finally finished off by getting a little bit of ribbon, just to create the tie that can go on to the Christmas tree. Now what I loved about this project is that it's really quick to cut, and you can easily personalise it to give as a gift or just to pop on your own tree. Okay, so there we have all of our tree decorations. Now, if you fancy having a go at creating your own version of this project, then simply head over to your VCarve account and you can download the project files from there. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you've not yet subscribed to our channel, then please hit that subscribe button for instant updates on the latest videos that we'll be releasing. So thank you so much for watching. Happy making!